Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the team call for Team Next Generation. It is January 4th, 2017. Still have a hard time saying 17. It seems weird to me. But thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your night to jump on. I'm really excited. Dionna has a really, we just went over it actually. She's got a really good call for you guys tonight. A lot of great information. So I'm excited. But before we even start with all that, I've got to take 1 second. Guys, you know that we don't typically do a ton of recognition on these calls every once in a while. And part of the reason for that is because Thursday is when everything really happens. Tonight is at the end of the Beachbody week. So typically, you know, everything's going to happen tomorrow with recognition. So because we have our calls on Wednesday night, it's like recognize, and then the next morning we recognize again. It's like, it's almost kind of craziness. So I typically don't, but there's no way I could get away from it today because looking at what's going on, it's absolutely amazing. So I'm going to run over here real quick. I know I already put a banner up the other day kind of about, you know, how many people are, people are changing lives. Let me put it that way. So I'm going to just a quick shout out to everybody right now. I'm going to run through a few names and just kind of let you guys know where some people are at, because I think it's incredible that people are at where they're at right now. First of all, we've got Francine and Jessica, who are both at SC6 right now. So that is 3 lives per person that are touched and ready to be changed. You at 7 now?
You know our reports aren't like real time.
Yeah. And FYI, I'm going off of, this is the printout that Dionna gave me, so it's not my fault, if anything.
It was from this morning.
No, it's because it's the extra points. Like,
Yeah.
so you know what I mean?
They come around late.
Just before Jen got 3 today, too. They're not going to be up.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
Nice.
Way to go, Jen. Yeah, see, that's so. Well, I'll run through who I have on this list, and if I leave your name off, I apologize ahead of time if it was today, because it's not updated as far as the hours go. But then Heidi, we've got you at 3 as well, and April is at 2, and JJ Hickman is at 2, and I'm not even gonna say me. Natalie is at 2, and Kyla is at 2, and Evan Strom is at 1, and Stephanie Dean is at 1. It's like, you've got to be kidding me, guys. I've never seen this many people. It's the 4th of the month, and that many people's lives are already starting to be changed. That's a huge amount of people to be on the board on the 4th of the month. And I can't even believe that. So I had to take a second just to kind of share that with you guys, because that's massive. And it isn't just because of the health bet, right? This is because people are really like digging in. They dug in last month. You guys worked hard, and this is the reason, you know, this is what happens when you guys work hard. I'm excited tonight because tonight Dionna's gonna be talking all about setting goals and how important it is, and some action steps on how to achieve that. And I'll tell you why. I am glad that Dionna is talking about this, because I'll tell you in a second where she's at with Success Club. But one of the things that, and Dionna won't say this about herself, but one of the things that I can tell you about her right now is 2 years ago when we decided to really like go strong about coaching, she made it a goal at that day that she was going to hit Success Club 10 without question every single month, not an option. And I'm sure as a lot of you saw in the post the other day in the team page that she hit that. She is a Success Club 10 All-Star legend. That means you've hit that. You've changed those lives every month consistently for 2 years straight without missing a beat, which is impressive to begin with. But that's not really why I think she's a really strong goal setter and why she's really good at achieving those goals. There's been a couple months where once was the last time we went on the cruise, and then this time, because we're going on the cruise, where she at the beginning of the month decided, next month I want to hit my goal of Success Club 10 by the first day or the second day of the month. And so she spent all of that month not just trying to help people for that month, but really focusing on putting a plan in place to create that so that by the first of the next month, she'd be at Success Club without question. She's currently at Success Club 28. It's the 4th of the month, and 2 in my account. So at SC 30 in 4 days, because of the system that was put in place last month, prepping and getting ready for this month. So it isn't about the long-term Success Club goal and All-Star Legends. It's about those little specific actions taken this month and last month to prepare for this month. That's why I think she's impressive about and needs to be talking about this. So I'm going to shut up for a second, and I'm going to turn it over to her and let her kind of walk you guys through some ways to set goals and get ready for 2017. So babe, you take it.
Okay. So I wrote this down today really quick. So bear with me, you know how I love public speaking. So I really want to talk today about goals, and more importantly, our 2017 goals. Because like anybody, whether or not you're coaches, whether or not you're just on your health and fitness journey, whatever that is, when the first of the year comes around, you're like, this year's going to be different. I'm going to go all in, and I'm going to get a plan, and I'm going to take massive action, and it's going to be amazing, right? So there's a couple of things that are really important to really succeeding in the goals that you have. So one of those is really having a vision. So a lot of times you'll hear us say, you know, find your why, but really it's a vision. It's kind of thinking about how you want your life to be in the future, right? So not how your life is now, how you want it to be in the future. And then having that vision and that desire to have your future be bigger than your present, right? And, you know, we have these dreams and these goals, and it just all seems beautiful, right? And so, you know, amazing. But then the first sign of struggle will happen, and we kind of peter out, or we feel like, you know, if we're not 100%, that we kind of drop the ball, and then we kind of get discouraged. But guys, part of success in anything, whether you're on your health and fitness journey, whether it's with coaching, with anything in life, there's going to be obstacles, and you're going to fail at times. And so really using the opportunity of failure to propel you and to learn new things is really going to really keep you on that path. So sometimes you have to sacrifice comfort, right? So being on these calls and going live and all that stuff, I do it and it gets easier, but it's not, you know, it's not like second nature like it is to Justin. Like he loves to just talk and talky. But me, I get kind of like winded and, you know, but you still do it, right? And it's not going to always be easy, but sometimes you need to sacrifice a little bit of comfort for things that you really want. So if you're on your health and fitness journey, you're going to be sore. You know, you're going to have a transition period of where, you know, things are, you know, you might not like all the food because you're used to processed food. Now you're eating fresh food and things taste kind of different. Or, you know, you're not a real big person on social media. And so you're like, gosh, I have to put myself out there. And so you don't want to, but you do it anyways. You put your smiling face out and you share your journey the whole way through. And there's this saying that I heard in a book the other day, and it says, what's your favorite flavor of shit sandwich? Because everything sucks sometimes. Like life isn't perfect. So, you know, pick your flavor of shit sandwich and know that sometimes you're going to have to take a bite and it's going to be okay. So a couple of things that I kind of want to talk about before we dive in is knowledge is power only if you use it, right? So we all know how important personal development is. It is crucial to our business. But if you're spending hours on personal development, but you're not implementing what you're learning, you're just a collector of information. And that's really not going to propel you emotionally, in business, anything, all those goals that you have. If you're not taking action, then, you know, you're just kind of laying stagnant. And so don't be a collector of information, be an action taker of information, if you will. And I always use that similar to, I did an analogy because I'm trying to be like Justin and he's good at those. You know, like say when we're helping people on their health and fitness journey, you know, if we give them the 21-day fix eating plan and they read it from cover to cover, but they don't do anything in it, they're not going to change, right? They're not going to lose weight. They're not going to, if they're just reading it. So it's really super important to implement what you're learning. So goals, they need plans, right? So a vision without a plan is just a dream. And it's super, super true because, I mean, we can want things all day long, but unless we take action, like this is really going to be an action focused call. But if you're not taking action, you're not going to achieve those goals, right? So for instance, like say I want to go on a road trip and I want to go somewhere in New York. I want to go visit Erin. I don't think she's on here. I want to go visit Erin in New York. Well, I clearly need a roadmap so I know what direction to head. And same is going to be for your business. You need to have a roadmap so you don't veer off course. You need to know what path you need to take to get you to your goal, right? So it's really important to have that roadmap and to have a plan and to really spend time planning. So what I'm going to do, or what I'd like you guys all to do, is instead of focusing on your year goal, which is amazing, like have that right there, but let's chunk it down into 12-week goals. Because I don't know about you guys, but you're like, I got 12 months to hit my goal. I have so much time, got so much time on my hands. And then before you know it, November rolls around, you're like, hold up, what? Like where did the last like 11 months go? And now you're busting your buns. And then if you don't hit it, then you're discouraged because you didn't take the year that you needed to hit your goals until the last month. And then, so there's a law called Parkinson's law, and I've shared this before. And the definition is work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. So if you guys have kids, right, and they give you, or they have an assignment due, a project, right, and their teacher gives them 3 weeks to do it. Well, how often do they wait until the night before? And they're just like, oh, I got to do this. It's not that they can't get it done. It doesn't really take the 3 weeks. They procrastinated until the last minute. So, and I think that we tend to do that a lot in our business or on our health and fitness, right? So it's really important to come up with those really key important things and daily actions to get towards your goals. And 12-week planning, it's more predictable. You have different points during the year that you can kind of tweak and reevaluate. And that's why I love like our challenge groups. When we do like 30-day challenge groups, I'm like, it's awesome. Even if you have a 90-day program, break it down into bite-sized chunks. So you can look at 30 days and go, here's kind of what I struggled in, or my nutrition wasn't on point, but then the next 30 days, I know how to kind of tweak it and make it work, right? So the same thing's going to go for our business in those 3-month increments. Let's see. And one thing I heard today that I really liked, it says, a good plan today is better than a perfect plan tomorrow. And this is something that I've had to get over is I'm like, okay, well, I don't have all my ducks in a row, or if only I have this, this, and this, then I can do this. But really, we just have to take that leap. We just have to go and know that it's not always going to be perfect, right? Like, if you have a customer that's like, gosh, I have a shoulder injury, so I can't join your challenge group until I'm all healed. Well, no, you can still do the nutrition plan. You can still do the lower body movements. You can still modify the upper body, right? So just take action, even if it's not perfect. If it's just action, people. Okay, so goals. How to make a plan. So multiple goals are okay. So I want you guys to do is write down 2 or 3 goals for the next 12 weeks. And I don't want you to come up with a ton because it can get overwhelming. So I want you to come up with just 2 or 3. If you have just one, that's totally fine too. But less is more in this case. So then after you have your goals, what I want you to do is come up with the tactics or action steps that you need to take to reach those goals. So for instance, I want to hit Success Club 10 every month, might be one of my goals. So what am I going to put down? Well, number 1, I'm going to say I need to invite 5 people a day. Number 2, I need to expand my network by 3 people a day by sending out friend requests. Another thing I need to do is reach out and start conversations and relationship building with 10 people. Okay, another thing I need to do is I need to show up on social media every single day, even when I don't want to, and just share my journey and be Beachbody related as well, right? So really putting those step-by-step actions in place. And even if you have to have like a big long list, like I want it to be detailed. And then just like, okay, here's what I need to do. Okay, well, do I need to do a like page? Do I need to start a website? Do I need, like, if you have all those things on your list, put them down on your list, but then we can start crossing them off and go, is that really vital to my daily action? Like, is it really vital to the goal that I want to get? Or is that just something fun? Because I know I can get very lost in like making pretty graphics and wanting to look a certain way. And I'm like, honestly, that graphic is not what is propelling my business forward. It's me just putting myself out there. It's me reaching out. And it's just me being me imperfectly, right? So really clear and concise action steps to each one of your goals. So some criteria to writing your plan. So make it specific and measurable. So you can say, okay, did I invite this many people? So make it really super specific. Okay, I want to invite this many people. I want to talk to this many people. I want to put this many posts. And so then that way, at the end of the week, when you're reviewing, you can say, okay, well, I didn't do this, or I did do this, or here's what I need to work on next week. So if you kind of look at it, a month is like a week, and a week is like a day. And so you're kind of like reverse engineering. So instead of like having a whole month and reflecting on a month, you're able to do it in weeks. So you're not losing so much time, if that makes sense. The next thing you need to do is you need to state your plan, state it in positive, state it positively. So for instance, you're not going to say, I want to quit smoking. Instead, you're going to say, I'm becoming a non-smoker. Or instead of only having a 2% error rate, I'm going to have a 98% success rate. So make sure whatever you're writing, you're putting it in the positive sense. Make your goals realistic and make it a realistic stretch. If it's really easy to hit, like if you're like, I'm going to hit Success Club 5 every month, that's my goal, but you're hitting Success Club 5 every month, I'm going to challenge you to bump that up a little bit, right? If you're like, hey, I'm going to, I'm going to help one of my coaches achieve Emerald, but you do that every month. Okay, well, let's bump that up. Maybe I want to help one of my coaches hit Diamond, right? So on the flip side, don't make them so impossible, because dreams are amazing, but they also need to be realistic. So definitely stretch yourself, put yourself outside your comfort zone, and really think about that. So when you're planning your week, so what I'm doing is each Sunday I'm sitting down and I'm making my plan for the upcoming week. So I'm going to say Monday, I'm going to do this. And some things I'm going to do every single day, like the same things, like I'm going to invite, I'm going to have conversations, I'm going to send friend requests and things like that. I'm going to do that 5 days a week. So that's going to be kind of on my daily to-do list, right? Then once a week, I'm going to be recognizing people. Once a week, I might be posting this. Once a week, I might be doing other things. So I'm going to be writing those down. So, but really getting a plan in place. And I actually go one step further and I kind of reverse engineer when I'm looking at my month. I'm like, okay, well, I have a challenge group on the 3rd week of every month that starts on a Monday. So I know I need to start really, really inviting heavier, or maybe sharing on my page more specifically about an upcoming challenge group or whatever. If it's for a specific like workout program, then I might be sharing more like transformations about that, or my own personal experience with that program. Excuse me. So really taking that week and making it really specific on here's what I need to do, and get rid of the fluff. Get rid of the fluff. Don't worry about having this extensive to-do list. Do those actions that need to get you to your goal. So, and I'm going to use health and fitness as well. Like if your goal is to lose, 10 pounds in a month. So you reverse engineer that. Okay, well, I want to lose 2 pounds a week. Okay, well, what are those things that you need to do? Well, you don't need to weigh yourself, right? Like that's really not an action that's going to get you closer to your goal. But what is going to get you closer to your goal is, to work out, is to meal prep, is to make sure that you're having those healthy habits. So those are the vital behaviors that you need to do to get you to your goals. One thing that is really helpful is to try to, a lot of times we'll call them power hours, but a strategic block of uninterrupted time. So again, if that's for your workout, schedule that workout time that you won't quit on yourself, right? That you won't cancel on yourself. So you've got, maybe if you work, you've got work hours that you're there. Well, you need to make sure that you're scheduling your workouts as well. Same thing for your business. You need to have an uninterrupted block of time. So it's just really important. So just make sure that you do that. So then that way what you're doing is you're not doing all that extra fluff, but you're focused on those really super rigid behaviors that you need to focus on. So you're very efficient. And I tell you what, it's going to be amazing. On the flip side, and Justin's going to laugh at me on this, you need to have a breakout block. And that is scheduled time away from anything work related. So for those of you that sometimes find themselves on their phone or on the computer or whatever, you need to schedule time away from that. Because like, I love what I do. I am so stinking passionate about it that I would want to do it all day long if I could. And I do if nobody yells at me. So, because I just love it. Like, I love talking to people. It's become a new passion that I didn't know, because usually I'm pretty introverted, but I'm just like, oh, this is so cool. I get to meet new people. So, but really make sure that you have that time away for your family, for yourself, to recharge, replug, especially for your challengers too, because if you're in that challenge group all day long, then, they start getting that expectation. Like what I do now, I'm in my challenge group once a day. I'm set, and then I'm responding to everybody once a day. So then that way I'm not in there all day, because you'll get so overwhelmed. So then after you've completed your week, then you need to score that week. So, plan a day. If that's Monday that you're going to set up your week, or for me it's Sunday, then the next Sunday I'm going to review my week, and I'm going to say, okay, so my invites, how on was out of a score from 1 to 4. Where was I at? Okay, well, I invited 5 this day, but I invited 1 this day, but I invited 2 this day, and whatnot. So I might give myself a 2. And then same thing with my friend requests, and same thing with my conversations and things like that. And then I'm going to score that week. And guys, I always stress it's not about being perfect, right? It's about progress. It's about doing the daily actions that we need to do, but giving ourselves grace, right? So if you can score 80, so out of 1 to 4, right? So if you got 2s on most things, then you're probably 25% on. I'll read that in a minute. And then, and so on and so on. But you want to be 85% on average. And then one thing that's cool is if for some reason you had a really off week, well, you can look at that and go, okay, well, where did I struggle? What do I need to improve on the next week? And so it makes it more manageable. And so it's not like, 11 months have passed and you're like, oh, I've been doing the same wrong behaviors for 11 months. You can kind of flip it really quick and get back on track. The last thing I'm going to share is I want you to measure your execution or your actions, not your results or your outcome, right? So I know for me, I was guilty of this and I did this for a while, and I would stress out every time. So I would have a goal to hit Success Club 10 every month to help 5 people. And I would hit that goal. And then I would stop doing those daily actions that I needed to do, because I hit my goal, right? I hit my December goal. Why do I need to work anymore? Well, then January would come around, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a challenge group starting and I haven't talked to anybody, and I'm having to build that momentum again. So what I found is, even if I've hit my goals, you just keep on doing, because the actions that you're doing now are going to be the ones that take you to next month. I don't ever get challengers in my group for the month that I'm running. It's always from the prior month or the prior couple months, right? So really focus on the action, not the outcome. And I think that they gave, I heard an analogy about, so you want to measure what you eat and how many times you work out, not the weight that you lose. Because if you focus on that weight, then you're kind of like, oh, I'm good, but you need to focus on those daily actions that are getting you to your ultimate end goal. So that's it. Okay. So, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you guys all homework, and I'm going to preface this by, this year is going to be different. And I'm going to tell you how it's going to be different. For those of you who know me, some of you already know, this year is I'm taking on Justin's role as tough love coach, always loving, always nurturing, always as caring as I can be. However, last year I found that I had gotten a rut of wanting things for people more than they wanted it for themselves. And so I'd always reach out to them. Hey, how are you doing? Hey, how's it going? Hey, what can I help out with? But guys, this is the joy of having our own business, is we get to run it however we want. With that can be a scary thing because we can do whatever we want. We don't have people saying you have to do this and do this and do this. You have to find that time and find that priority for yourself. So this year, I am here for you guys 100%. We all are. We're all here for you 100%. But with that is you need to reach out. You need to ask for help. You need to be coachable. You need to be willing to, put yourself out there. So with that said, I have homework. So I want each and every one of you that want to do this to, and hopefully it's all of you guys, to come up with what we just talked about. So I want you guys to come up with 2 to 4 goals. And then I want you guys to come up with action steps or tactics, right? So very specific, measurable, positive daily actions or weekly actions, because not everything has to be done every day. And I want you to really keep them specific, and I want you to post them on the team page. Once you post them on the team page, then myself, Justin, and if we're not your personally sponsored coach, the coach that added you to the group, we will schedule a one-on-one call to all talk together about your goals, talk about the measuring tools or the actions you're taking so we can really hone in on the vital processes that you need to reach to get to your goal. Because our goal is truly to help you guys reach your goals. And so we're willing to do whatever we can, but you need to make sure that you're showing up and doing the necessary steps in your own business too. So that is my little shtick, and I am out.
That's fantastic. Thank you, babe. And guys, let me real quick just kind of touch base on what Dionna was just saying as well. So for some of you that have been coaches for longer, you have a very deep understanding of what she's saying when she says reverse engineer goals and figure out what your goals are, and then put those action steps to achieve those goals in the team page. For some new coaches that, maybe you're like watching this and you're brand new and you're like, I don't even know what my goals are because I don't even know what's able to be achieved, right? Like you're not even at that place yet. Those goals might be, or maybe you've heard something. Maybe I want to be an emerald coach. I heard something about an emerald coach or a diamond or a team leader or something like that. If you have a goal that you've heard of that you want to achieve, but you don't know the action steps because you don't know what it takes to achieve it, number one, first thing I would do is FAQ. What is this? Right? Like, what is a diamond? What does it look like? And then, put your goal in the comment section. And if you're fully like, I just don't know how, that's one of the things we're going to go over in that call. We're going to talk to you and figure out, okay, if you don't know how to achieve it, here's how you achieve it. Here's what you need to do on a step-by-step. We're going to try to make it as simple as we possibly can for you. But that's part of what we do. That's our job, right? And the reason that we're doing it in this way is because we want you guys to feel free. I know there's some of us on this call right now that have really big goals this year, right? I know, Megan, I know you've got a really big goal, and we'll be talking about that in just a second. Or after this call. And I know that Dionna and I have a really big goal this year. So we want you guys to feel free to dream big and not think, well, I don't even know how to get there, so I don't even want to put that on my scale, right? It needs to be achievable. Like Dionna and I are not going for top coach, this year because that's insane. And we don't want to put in the work necessary to achieve something that ridiculous. But with that said, we want you to feel free to dream big and understand that, hey, don't sweat it. If you think you don't know how to get there, that's what we're there for. We're here to help you. Everybody on this team is there to help you put those things in place to give you that roadmap so that you do know the daily action steps necessary to achieve it. And that's really what we're here for. So feel free, dream big. Don't be scared. Throw it in there, and that will get us on the phone, and we'll figure out how to make sure that happens for you. Also, real quickly, I forgot to say this before. One of the things that I wanted to, and hold on, Francine, are you still, where's Francine? Did Francine?
She's there.
Oh, there you are. You switched. You were down here on my screen before, and now you're up there. I wanted to say something real quick. So Dionna was kind of talking about running with people that are wanting to run, right? And like, You know, she doesn't want to push people. She wants it for, you know, she doesn't want to be in a place where she wants something worse than somebody else wants it for themselves. And we've said that a lot. And if you're newer to the team, you're going to hear this a lot. And if you're older, you've heard us say it 1,000 times. Only work with the willing. This isn't a thing that we do because we're unwilling to work with people. This is something that we do because there's a point where you're pushing back on somebody, that you're just pushing them away and you're pushing them too hard. And they have to want this as badly as we do. And those are the people that are on this call right now. Those people that are like, I'm willing to take the time out of my night to do this. I'm serious about it. And for those, you know, for those people, it's great. Like, push them and help them and do all those great things. But don't push somebody that's not willing to do it, because you're just wasting your time and you're frustrating both of you, right? And I wanted to use Francine as an example, perfect example. Like, and I'm not saying this in a bad way. We give her little, I mean, like, we don't really give her a lot of guidance, because she takes what we say, she's coachable, she goes straight to action with it, and she just shows up, and we don't have to push her at all. She just says, what do I need to do? We say, do this, and she's on it, and she's going for it. Like, I don't know if you know this, Francine, because I've never talked to you about diamond and what that means, but you're very close. Like, and that's a big deal, and you have no idea, and I love that you probably don't know even what that's all about, and we'll talk about that later. But I mean, like, she's almost at a diamond, and she's not even like, she's just, okay, whatever you say, I'm going to go for it. If it's uncomfortable, I don't care. I'm just going to make it happen. We don't have to push her. And that's when things work really well, is when somebody's just like, you both want it as bad. She wants it bad. We want it for her, and it works really easily. And so I wanted to throw a big shout out there, right there, because that's a big accomplishment that you're heading that direction. And you don't even realize the accomplishment that you're making. So yes, absolutely. A big hand of applause to you for that. And when I explain it to you, you're like, really? Oh, okay. But does anybody have any questions about anything tonight? Any questions or concerns or anything like that? And feel free, raise your hand or unmute yourself for. Yeah, exactly. I'll tell you all about that, friends, and we'll have a little call on that. And
one of the things I wanted to share too is about kind of what we talked about on goals. Like, it doesn't have to be business related goals. It doesn't have to be health and fitness related goals, right? Kind of having a plan in place for everything and kind of using that same system for any goals that you have in your life, whether or not it's your relationship or whatever, can be super helpful. And so if you're running your challenge groups, it might be a really good tool to share with them, because it may seem so simple, but I know that, like, challengers, especially new challengers coming in, they're like, there's so much stuff. It's overwhelming. The eating plan. So, you know, I don't know how to meal prep yet. And the workouts, and I'm so sore. And so really kind of giving them those tools to really kind of break it down and just focusing on what they need to focus on, instead of all the other flub and nonsense that's out there, you know, clouding their mind with wraps and pills. And just say, you know, here's all you need to focus on. Let's work on your goals, and let's kind of not really reverse engineering them, but just like break them down into super precise action steps. Can really, really help.
And letting people know that they don't have to be perfect, right? Like, it's just those small little steps. It's that compound effect, right? It's those small things that put you on the plan, on the road to making that larger change. And I think a lot of challengers specifically, I mean, I know that you guys, some of you have noticed this, and I don't want to get off on a tangent here a bit real quickly. I know that some of you longer time coaches that have ran a lot of challenge groups, I'm sure you've seen this before, where you plug somebody in and they're doing really well, and then they fall off once or twice, and they feel a pressure to be perfect. Because everybody's showing up every day, they feel that pressure. And if you don't let them know, like, it's okay for you to, like, fall off and eat like crap or whatever it is, it's just, you know, start over. If that's too overwhelming for you, start here and just do a little bit. You don't have to be 100%. Sometimes that's all it takes, because a lot of times those people, they think you have to be 100% and they fall off a little bit, they get discouraged and they're gone. It's the whole thing with New Year's resolutions, right? People strong through January 31st, February 15th, and then it's gone because they went 100% in. You can't go 100% in. You don't walk out the door one day, decide you want to run a marathon, and just take off running, right? You've got to take those little steps to make the larger foundation so that you can actually create that end goal. That's exactly what she's talking about tonight. It goes for our challengers. It goes for our business. It goes for every aspect of our lives. Does anybody have any other questions before I leave you guys alone? Jessica, what's up?
I just want to make sure. So our action step is to come up with 4 goals for this next 12 weeks.
2 to 4. It can be. It doesn't have to be 4. Yeah.
No,
just for the next 12 weeks.
Okay,
so
and then
12-week goals.
And then we're posting them on Team Next Generation.
Yes.
Our
So
action steps.
Huh?
With our action steps, or
with action steps. Yeah, the specific.
I just want to make sure. I got that right.
Oh, and there's actually a couple things that I want to, just housekeeping stuff I want to talk about. So for all of you, hopefully heard that Team Rock Hard Bodies, if you don't know who it is, it's our larger team. Their page has turned into a training page. And so if you're not already looped in there, or if your coaches aren't already looped in there, be sure that you get them connected, because it's also where they share the monthly prizes. I'm sure they'll probably be announcing some trips, all sorts of fun incentives and things like that. So be sure that you're plugged into that. If you need to add your coach, I'm one of the admins on there. So be sure you just kind of let me know, because I noticed today when I went in that there were actually 2 coaches that were pending. I think one Megan was yours and one Natalie was yours. So just send me a message, just say, hey, I added a coach, so I know to go in there and add them. And then one other thing I kind of want to share, and I'm 100% guilty of this, copy and pasting the same post. Try not to do it. So only because I think, like, I for the longest time I was like, oh, somebody's copying me. I think that's so flattering. Like, I loved it. I was just like, oh, so I never got offended at all. But then I heard how other people can perceive it. They're like, wow, are you guys just copy and pasting like this? Are they telling you what to copy and paste? Are you not being original? And so I was like, okay. So by all means, if you see something that somebody posted that's inspirational, definitely feel free to use it, but then make it sound like your own. Don't copy word for word. Put it in your own words. If there's a picture that you like, take your own picture and make it similar. But just don't copy and paste the same image with the same text. Because just be you and be unique. And guys, I'm going to tell you guys all, you guys are rocking, because I stalk you guys all. I stalk all you guys because I love to. It makes me happy. But I love you guys sharing your face. And so 2017 is going to be everybody's selfie year. I don't care, because I love it. It makes me happy. Who doesn't love to see a smiling girl power face going, I got my workout done, what? And it'll annoy some people, but who cares? They're just negative Nancy's anyways. But the rest of them, so keep it up. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll have another call at some point on just that specifically, but from a branding perspective and from a business building perspective, showing your face is absolutely paramount. It's not even an option. It's an absolute necessity to be a coach at the end of the day, in many, and not in every way, but in many ways. Like if you're really trying to build something big and really inspire people, it's that recognition. So people have a face to attach what's going on, because that's what we're doing. We're not selling anything. We're selling ourselves, right? So people need to see us and know that we're real people and we're here. So yes, definitely check out Team Rock Hard Bodies. If you guys are not in that page, like Dionna said, let one of us know before you add people to it, because if we don't know, then we won't, like, if somebody else doesn't know the name, that's one of the other admins doesn't know the name, they won't add anybody to it. So we have to know. If I don't know the name or Dionna doesn't know the name, we won't add them in, just like she said. So make sure you reach out and let us know, I'm adding so-and-so, so we can go and approve them to let them into that page. And absolutely check it out. I'll tell you right now, I've been watching it, and Dionna is watching. I guarantee she'll agree. I've gone through, and there's been a couple posts where I'm like, this is basic stuff. It's all like very, very like focused on the very simple basics. It's great for brand new coaches. They're going to have a team call literally on how to like an onboarding process. They're incredible for getting people started right and teaching them the basic foundation of how to really help a ton of people. That's what this is all about. And I'll tell you what, it seems like the most basic stuff, and I'll read through the post and I'm like, oh my God, that's a great point. That's what we should be doing, or and we'll learn something about it from it all the time. So definitely plug into that. Definitely check it out. Watch that constantly if you can, but absolutely check it out. And any new coaches or any new coaches that you have, plug them into that and let us know, and let us, so that we can tag them in the post, or have you tag them in the posts so they can see the specific ones you want them to see. Because there's a lot of great information in there. So are there any other questions at all, or is everybody kind of a thumbs up? Everybody good? Okay. Again, you guys, thank you so much for taking the time tonight. I really appreciate all you guys. And I want you guys to have a really, really nice evening. Enjoy it, and we will see you guys all next Wednesday. All right, we'll see you guys. Bye, everybody, except for you, Megan.